What if Socrates had embraced death instead of fearing it? Imagine for a moment a world where one of history's greatest philosophers viewed death not as an enemy, but as a gateway to ultimate wisdom. How would his teachings have changed? How might that fearless approach to life's end alter the way we, today, approach our own existence? Would death become less of a fear and more of an essential part of the human journey toward truth? Socrates, one of the most influential figures in Western philosophy, spent his life challenging the status quo and encouraging others to think deeply about life's most profound questions. Among those questions, one remains at the core of human existence: death. Fear of the unknown drives many of our decisions, shaping the way we live. But what if this fear was misplaced? What if Socrates, in facing death, showed us a different way to think about it? The fear of death is universal and deeply rooted in the human experience. From ancient times to modern day, the fear of the unknown, of what comes after our final breath, influences almost every choice we make. It drives our desire for security, comfort, and longevity, pushing us to cling to life in ways both big and small. Philosophers have long debated whether this fear serves a purpose or if it only holds us back from truly living. Socrates, in particular, believed that an unexamined life was not worth living. But what about a life spent in constant avoidance of death? What if our fear of death blinds us to life's true potential? This fear shapes the way we build societies, form relationships, and establish meaning. It even dictates the moral codes by which we live, as we often seek meaning in life through the preservation of it. But imagine a world where this fear was absent. What kinds of decisions would we make if death were not a looming shadow over our every action? Would we take more risks? Would we seek deeper fulfillment in the present, knowing that life's brevity is not to be feared but embraced? These are the kinds of questions that arise when we confront death not as an enemy, but as a part of life's natural flow. Socrates might have argued that in our fear of death, we lose sight of what it means to truly live, missing out on a deeper understanding of existence itself. It is only by acknowledging and embracing mortality that we can fully unlock the potential of life. Socrates' views on death were, in many ways, groundbreaking for his time. He famously argued that death might not be something to fear, presenting it as either a peaceful, dreamless sleep or an opportunity to transition into another realm of existence where one might meet and converse with the great souls of the past. To Socrates, the physical body was temporary and the soul was eternal. This belief allowed him to face his own death with remarkable calmness. But what if Socrates went beyond acceptance? What if he actively embraced death as the ultimate path to knowledge? Imagine if Socrates had seen death not just as inevitable, but as essential, perhaps even the final step in the pursuit of truth. If he viewed death as the ultimate escape from earthly distractions and the beginning of unbounded wisdom, his teachings may have taken on an even more radical tone. In this reimagined version, Socrates might have encouraged his followers to not only live philosophically, questioning everything, but to welcome the end of life as the gateway to the answers they sought. Such a perspective would have revolutionized how his followers, and perhaps society as a whole, approached mortality. Death would no longer be seen as the enemy of life, but as its culmination, a necessary step toward ultimate understanding. This transformation would echo beyond personal philosophy, shaking societal structures. Perhaps laws, governance, and social norms might shift, with less emphasis on preserving life at all costs and more on the quality of wisdom acquired throughout one's existence. In this fearless approach, life becomes about the pursuit of truth, even in the face of death. Now imagine a pivotal moment where Socrates, free from the fear of death, stands before the Athenian court during his trial. Instead of defending himself or arguing for leniency, Socrates speaks calmly, not just accepting his death, but embracing it as the ultimate test of his philosophy. His composure, his unwavering belief that death is not to be feared, leaves the court in stunned silence. He tells them that fearing death is the same as claiming to know what lies beyond, a claim no mortal can truthfully make. By rejecting fear, he shows his fellow Athenians that life's greatest pursuit is not survival, but the quest for wisdom, even in the face of mortality. In this imagined reality, Socrates' lack of fear isn't just personal, it becomes contagious. His followers, once consumed by sorrow and fear, begin to rethink their own lives. They see death not as the end, but as a new beginning, an opportunity to live authentically and without restraint. This shift in perspective inspires an entire generation to live courageously, pursuing knowledge and virtue, no longer shackled by the fear of what comes after life. Socrates, through his acceptance of death, becomes more than a philosopher. He becomes a symbol of fearless living. This transformation doesn't stop with his immediate circle. It ripples outward into society, influencing how people approach not just death, but life itself. Imagine a world where individuals prioritize wisdom, authenticity, and growth over the avoidance of death. Socrates, by facing death without fear, would have sparked a revolution in thought that continues to influence the world for centuries to come. This moment is not just about Socrates, but about the transformative power of living free from fear. In reimagining Socrates as a philosopher who not only accepted death but embraced it, we unlock a profound insight. Without the fear of death, we can live more freely and authentically. This fearless approach to life allows for a deeper pursuit of wisdom and personal growth. By letting go of our primal fear of mortality, we might find that death is not the end of the journey, but an essential part of understanding the true meaning of life. What do you think about the fear of death? How does it shape your life and decisions? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this exploration of Socrates and death insightful, don't forget to check out my other videos on philosophy and the big questions of life. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into topics that challenge the way we think and live. Until next time, stay strong, stay stoic.